All right, guys, welcome back. Going over UFC 280. Probably the best card of the year. One of the better cards I've ever seen, and they've had fights drop off pretty amazing. First, let's say thank you to our sponsor, Tampa Blessed, Home Team Duca, TampaBlessed.com for more information about that. Let's get right into it. We got, technically not the champ. He's a champ in my mind, Charles Oliveira, 33-8, only 33 years old. He's ranked number one. As I said, though, he's the champ. Plus 155 underdog on an 11-fight winning streak, beating all the top guys from Gaethje, Chandler, Poirier, Ferguson. It goes on, and he finishes the dudes. Going up against Islam Makhachev, 22-1, 31 years old. He's ranked number 4, minus 180 favorite right now going to this, and he's on a 10-fight winning streak. But his level of competition, Bobby Green, Hooker, and Moises, not quite the same. Tom, I'll let you have at it first. This is a battle here. What do you see happening?
Oh, yeah, this is great. This card, like you said, man, especially the main card. This main card has no duds, 0 duds. Every fight is nasty. Every fight potentially could be a main event on its own in a UFC Vegas card. Because if you just look at the last UFC Vegas, and every one of these fights is better than that headline.
Oh, these can headline this card.
Those two girls.
The next one's a title shot. I mean,
right? That could be... No, everyone on the main event on the main card could be a main event UFC Vegas show, which is pretty crazy. Well done by the UFC. Props to them. So Oliveira 33, Islam 31. Oliveira, 11 in a row, like you said. His last loss was to Paul Felder by TKO elbows back in December 2017. So 5 years since he's taken a loss. And Islam, his only loss ever was a round 1 TKO in 2015. So he hasn't lost in 7 years. Both these guys haven't lost in 5 or more years. Pretty crazy. Charles has got a 3.5-inch reach advantage. They're both going to be looking to sub each other. You know, Islam's also looking for that ground and pound. Charles is better on the feet, in my opinion. He's got the better stand-up. He could potentially take out Islam or utilize his stand-up to lead him into some kind of a submission to, kind of mount him. It's a really nice matchup here because you do have these guys are pretty well matched. I just think Charles is better on the feet. Interesting bit of info, too, here is that Charles's vision was terrible. He got it fixed. It's 100% now.
Wow.
That could be a significant difference. He now will be able to see for the first time, like 2020 in a fight. So that's pretty nuts, man. And he got his eyes fixed, and they're back there like 2020 now.
Imagine that.
Another interesting fact for Charles is that. Yeah, imagine that. He sees too well.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, what the hell? I had to get used to being able to see. But, very interesting is that Charles never in his career has been past 3 rounds.
Right.
I was kind of surprised by that. Yeah, I was surprised by that, And if you look at Islam, he's only been to the 4th round once. He's never been past it. So both these guys' championship rounds are like new territory. Islam only having done 4 rounds once, never the 5th. And Charles has never even seen the 4th or the 5th. It's a tough call, man, but I'm going with the underdog, the, champ in my mind, not official, but he's right there. Nobody has the belt. It's vacant. If anybody did have it previous, it was Charles. I'm going with him round 3 by sub or strikes.
Yeah, I like it.
Charles Oliveira.
Listen, I'm going to tell you guys the wisdom of gambling. If the champ is plus money, you take the champ. They don't become the champ because they're not good. Plus money, you take the champ. It's just how it goes. Not telling you guys what to do, but that's how it works. I think this fight is tough to call because basically Charles here, he is the champ. He's beating everybody. Still an underdog. Doesn't make any sense. Pretty absurd if you ask me. Should at least be a pick'em. Islam hasn't beaten not one top guy. I love Bobby Green, but is Bobby Green inside the top? No. Is Dan Hooker inside the top? No. Is Thiago Moises?
Bobby Green just got cut this morning.
Bobby Green cut. Thiago Moises. I don't even know if Thiago Moises is in the top 15 anymore. Forget the top 10, top 5. It's just crazy. I mean, he looks damn good when he's out there. But Islam is leaping the competition here. He's going up to fight literally the best in the world right now. I think there's a champ. I think his name is Charles Oliveira. Charles has much better stand-up. He has much better power on the feet, and we know fights start on the feet. I think Islam has better wrestling, but I think Charles is so comfortable on the ground. I don't know if Islam has a true advantage there and enough to finish him if he does get him to the ground. That's Charles' world down there. The guy is the submission leader in all of UFC. So it's not like you're getting a huge advantage. I do think he can get him to the ground easier than Charles can get Islam to the ground. No question about that. But as far as it goes, you got to get him to the ground. Charles has sick hands. We saw what he just did to these guys. He's out there against Gaethje, taking Gaethje's best shots, throwing back, and killing him. Chandler, same thing. Chandler hurts him. The guy doesn't have the quit that he used to have. It's gone. This dude's the real deal. He's got power. He's knocking these dudes out. He's submitting them. He's finishing them every single time. We don't see that from Islam. We do not see that from him. He gets some cool submissions once in a while, but there's a lot of sloppy fights. Thiago Moises just lost a bunch of fights, and he took them all the way. It's not even close. I think Dubron finishes this fight like he does all his other fights here. I agree. I think it's going to go round 3. I think he's going to finish him right on the feet. Islam's just going to get caught. There's too much power in Charles' hands. 20/20 vision, baby. Tom, you know the advantage of 20/20 vision.
Oh, yeah.
Card market, I got to tell you, Islam's been rising since the day he got in the UFC, since the day Khabib was a champ, and that's like his little brother. He's put in 2019. His base cards are desired, which is rare in this world. If he can win the belt, he explodes. No question. His prices are going to go to the moon. Charles, clearly one of the best lightweights on the planet, still doesn't get the respect he deserves. The guy's a screaming buy. Go out and buy Charles. He's going to go down as one of the greatest of all time. All right, let's move right on. We got bantamweight. This is another championship fight right here for the belt. Aljamain Sterling minus 170. 33 years old, 21-3, 7-fight winning streak, beating Peter Yan technically twice, and Corey Sandhagen last, going up against TJ Dillashaw, ranked number 2, plus 145, 17-4, 36 years old. And he's coming off beating Sandhagen. And before that, he lost to Cejudo, but that was a flyweight fight. He didn't look himself. We know he got busted, popped. A lot of history with TJ. TJ just was in Colombia getting his knees repaired and everything after the other fight. Blew out his knee and still finished that fight with Sandhagen. Pretty incredible. Tom, take it from here. Slow me down a little bit. Who do you have winning this one?
So Aljo 33, Dillashaw 36. Dillashaw getting up there, but he's still very competitive and is still in incredible shape. Especially how he looked coming off that kind of absence for a while when he was on suspension. He came back and looked really strong in a very good competitive fight against Sandhagen there. Aljo's got a 4-inch reach. This is a great matchup because both these guys are strong in wrestling and BJJ. They're both good at that. Could it come down that TJ might have the better striking? I think possibly. He's kind of comes from that Bang Muay Thai to where he can kind of get those type of combos in there. I don't know. I'm sure Aljo's been working on that as well. If you look at Aljo's career, he only has 3 losses. 2 of them were split decisions, and 1 was the KO from Moraes. So that's a credible record right there. It's not like this guy's getting really. His two out of the 3 losses were splits. I'm thinking a close decision either way. That's my thought on this. I think it's going to be a close decision. The winner, I'm not really sure. The thing is, Aljo has proved the doubters wrong before, man, and I'm a little skeptical to go against him again. I would love to see. I like both these guys, man, but I'm kind of have like a little bit of an inner root for TJ here because it's kind of like TJ's kind of coming back. He kind of admitted the wrongdoing, and he's coming back, and he could be really setting a bit of history here. But that said, I'm going to go with Aljo by decision.
Right, yeah, I mean, let's just back up the truck there on Aljo proving people wrong. If Jan doesn't pull an illegal knee, he doesn't get that rematch. and he loses that fight handily. That was Piotr with worst ring IQ possible. You know the guy's grounded. There's no question. He's telling you he's grounded, and he knees him straight to the head like some kind of revenge knee. And then great acting job. Stays down. Doesn't want to get up. Doesn't want to continue. Fine, that's his right. But he doesn't get that rematch. He doesn't get that win right there. And in the next fight, I just want to say, Aljo beat him. It was very close. I believe it was actually split decision. Piotr Jan's team was not allowed into the United States at that time. He had no cornermen. He had nobody telling him what to do. He had none of his trusted guys saying, hey, you're losing these rounds. Hey, you're not doing this. That's very, very important for some of these guys. Their team is their world.
No, it's
and
a great point.
None of his team there. So we don't know if the outcome would have been the same or different. I'm not taking anything away from Sterling, but there's no way he wins that first fight. And the second fight might have been different also. So proving the haters, he did and he didn't. All right, but now my major concern right here is TJ too old or is he still in his prime? We don't know how he looks after this surgery. That's the thing. I think TJ's a live dog there here. I think he's got probably the best heart in the game. There's no quitting him. I think Aljo is a little better, but he doesn't have the small intangibles. TJ has KO power. I think he has higher wrestling than Aljo. I don't think we ever see TJ tiring in the cage. It's just one of those things. I'm with you on this one. I think we go 5 rounds. I think TJ Dillashaw just wears on him, gets it done. Old TJ's back. The guy hasn't lost.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
A lot of people don't realize, though, TJ has not lost. He relinquished the belt when he got caught. He didn't lose. He hasn't lost that belt. He hasn't lost a bantamweight in a long time. The guy is a stud. He's coming back. He looks incredible. Some looks can be deceiving, though. So I just don't know. 36, is he starting to feel that age? Or is he just like the same he was a few years ago? Is he still in his prime? Some guys' prime's a little longer than others. All right. Now, as far as the card market goes, though, TJ gets no respect, and I understand he got caught cheating. But he's one of the greatest bantamweights of all time, no matter how you look at it. I love the guy. I think he needs to get more credit. I think that credit sometimes comes with these guys after they retire, when you actually look at their body of work, because haters love to hate. And then when they retire, they go, oh my God, that guy was incredible. And I think that he might be one of those guys. He's printed in 2014. The cards are super rare from that year. I think the guys are screaming by. The guy could be a champ again here. We just don't know. Now, Sterling printed in 2015. He's not the beloved champ like a lot of guys. He's the hated champ. And you need both to get the prices up. You got to be loved and hated, Conor style. Sterling pretty much just hated outside of his corner. So, and I don't know if he can really hold the belt. I don't know if his reputation's going to grow. I got to sell while the hype is real on him right now. And that's that. Let's keep moving right here because this is a big card here. I just want to mention we're only going over the main event today, and we'll do a lightning round on a lot of the other fights because there's so many good fights on this card. We will get you guys more fights. We got another bantamweight. This is probably going to be the number 1 contender fight right here. Piotr Jan, ranked number 1, minus 265 favorite, 16-3, 29 years old, 3 losses. 1 was a DQ due to the illegal knee I just talked about, and both others were split decisions. The guy is an absolute stud. He's going up against the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley, ranked number 11, plus 225 underdog, 15-1, 1-0 contest. He's coming off that no contest eye poke against Pedro Munoz, where he thinks he was dominating the fight. The fight was actually pretty close. But his sole loss was to Chito Vera. And before that, literally he's been dominating a bunch of guys, but they're all unranked. Raulian Paiva, Chris Mutino, I think, already cut from the organization. Thomas Almeida, I don't know the last time we've seen him win. I mean, Tom, I love this fight. And yet, and I could see O'Malley winning. I can. Yeah. But can he really win? Or is that just the hype train of O'Malley talking to me? I don't know. Give it to me, because you're not a big O'Malley fan like I am.
Right, but I do respect O'Malley, and he's gained some respect in my mind. Like I said, I said when on one of these other shows a couple weeks ago, I said, hey, check out that O'Malley behind the scenes, and I actually put the link in the comments of that broadcast that you put up. Because I thought it was very interesting. He's a businessman, and I think he's doing a great job with his brand. But look, Peter Yan is the toughest opponent that Sugar has ever faced.
I mean, 10
Cheeto,
times.
Cheeto is close,
Cheeto beat him though.
But Cheeto beat him.
Right.
Exactly. Cheeto's close, but he has a loss against Cheeto. You know, I think if O'Malley, his key is really to keep the distance and just precision pick apart Peter. But I think what Peter's good at is closing the distance and defending people picking him apart. And then he starts to, blah, 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 and then hit. Then he strikes back. I think that's what he needs to do. That's bring it close to O'Malley. Get it tight quarters and fight that kind of fight that Peter Yan likes to fight and just wear on the dude. I'm leaning with Peter here by decision.
All right, Peter by decision. Now, let me just say, the pick here for me is Piotr Yan. But I can see the upset, and let me give you the little bit of factors that I have. The big factor for me is this should be a 5-round fight. This is such a massive fight. This is a 3-round fight as we see it right now. And Piotr Yan is a very slow starter. As you mentioned, he likes to sit back, play defense, calculate, see his next move. O'Malley can dance with the best of them. He's got heavy volume, and he could steal the show with that. As you mentioned before, he's like a video game out there. The guy is slick with his hands, his kicks. He's fast. He's out of range for a lot of these shorter guys. And can he steal 2 rounds, and then it's too late for Piotr Yan to catch up? That's the question. Like I said, my pick is Piotr, but I could see the steal coming, and I'm a big O'Malley guy. So it's
a good point.
It's easier for me to see the steal coming. I think we're going to see a much better Piotr Yan, though, with his team there in this fight. He's coming with less travel time this time. This works out well for him. I think we see a wrestle-heavy Piotr Yan to slow down the O'Malley show. I love this fight. I want to pick O'Malley, but I love the meanness of Piotr Yan at the same time. And I agree. I think he gets a decision out there.
He pushed him. He pushed O'Malley at the face-off. O'Malley looks so much taller, and he pushed him away.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I got to go watch that stuff. Now, this may be the time to unload Sugar Sean rookie cards. I'm a fan. This is a massive leap in competition, though. If he doesn't look perfect out there and really put it on Piotr Yan, his prices are going to fall. His prices are going to fall fast. And listen, I hold a substantial position in Sugar Show rookie autos and everything like that. And I'm telling you, this is the time to unload. I'm not unloading personally because I do it for myself. I'm not doing it just for the money. I love the sport. I love the hobby. Now, Piotr Yan right here, this guy's a buy right here. You're getting him while he's not the champ. His prices have come down since people saw he's not invincible. But this kid's the real deal. He can beat anyone on any given day. And he's a buy right now. You got to pick him up if you can find him for a good price. Moving right on, we got another fight. It's crazy that this fight is number 4. This fight doesn't even excite me. That's how crazy this card is. And this is a great fight. I'm just saying. We got lightweights. We got Banil Darius, ranked number 6, plus 165. 33 years old. He's 21-4 with 1 draw. 7-fight winning streak for this guy, beating Ferguson, Diego Ferreira, Scott Holtzman. He's going up against Matus Gamrot, ranked number 9, minus 195, 31 years old, 21-1, 1 no contest, 4-fight winning streak. Last beating Arman Tsarukyan, which was a big one, and Diego Ferreira before that also. Tom, another great matchup. What do you see happening here?
Yeah, Banil 33, Matus 31. Banil's had, kind of a little bit of bad luck, with injuries and whatnot. He was supposed to already be right in a fight with Islam, and, he would have already been lined up to be fighting Charles if, that went his way. He's had, some setbacks, but he's back, and this isn't a great fight against Matus, who's coming off a big win against Arman, who, a lot of people were kind of like not sure who to go with on that, and you can't blame him because it was such a good fight. This is really strong submission wrestler in Gamrot versus world-class BJJ grappler in Banil. So this is a very interesting matchup, when these guys are when they actually do start to grapple, it'll be interesting. But I feel like Gamrot just has a little bit of a higher energy, man. I don't know how that's going to play out with Banil. Banil is so kind of mild-mannered. he's not a guy that's going to get a lot of looks, but he's still nasty. He could be like one of the baddest dudes in the room, and like people won't be aware of it. But I'm going with what's the line here?
Plus 165 for Banil, minus 195 for Game Rot.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I'm going with the favorite here. I'm going to go with Game Rot by decision here,
Right.
man.
As you just mentioned, though, I just want to, before I even get to the card market, you just said it. This guy's a Banil fan, and no one's even going to notice him. That's not good when it comes to cards. You want to be noticed. You want the hype train. O'Malley beat nobody. Hype train. His cards already sell. Just throwing that out there. It's part of the game. Now, I'm with you here. I just think I'm leaning on Game Rot here. I think he's younger. I think he's faster. And I think his get-up game is incredible. We saw that with Armin Tsarukyan. He's got very high-level get-up game, which will be important because Banil has needed to take everyone to the ground recently. Banil has good stand-up. Like, I'm not taking away his stand-up, but the guy wants to be on the ground. He wants to be on top. He wants to look for subs to get the finish. And I don't think he can do that against Matus Game Rot. I think Matus is very high-level and very good at getting up. And I think he's a little better on the feet. It's just that youth. It's that speed. He comes from that high-level kickboxing and everything like that. I'm with you. I got Gamrot. I think Gamrot probably goes the distance with Banil. I think Banil hangs in there. I think he just pieces him up, though. Just enough volume to get the win. Now, if you think Gamrot could win like we do, I think this kid's a screaming buy. But I'm putting a hold on him till I see him at least beat Darius here, because who he's got to face next is the real problem. If this becomes somehow a leapfrog and you got to go up against Islam or Charles, yeah, I'm not seeing him beating those guys at this moment. I think it's a little too tall of an order. We'll go over that later.
Armin lost a decision against Islam, and he beat Armin.
Yeah, but that was Armin's first fight. Islam, long time. These guys are just so much better now.
I know, but so is Armin. Armin's better too.
That fight was close, though.
That fight was real close.
I think Armin actually probably edged him out there. I think Gamrot got lucky with the decision. But we'll see here. I saw it opposite. I thought it was very close, but I thought Gamrot got what he deserved. Yeah, I just think Charles is just levels above all of them, and I think Islam right now.
The thing is, Gamrot is also the thing about Gamrot, and like Banil too is like a big necked guy. Like he's got kind of a big neck on him, like a wrestler. But overall body, I think Gamrot's more of a bully build. He's very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, the thing,
we'll
Charles
see.
never looks like he's very powerful till you see him stand with these guys, and he's bigger than most of them.
Yeah. Charles's stand up has really
but Charles
improved
is
too,
huge for a lightweight. It's crazy that he hasn't moved up to a welterweight. He is a big dude. He just looks so slim, but he's not. When you see him with these guys standing next to him in the weigh-ins, in the press, he's a massive dude. So he just looks lean. But I think he's just at another level right now. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. You could disagree, agree. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it because Banil has kind of been like numerous setbacks. His last fight, I think, was like Ferguson. I want to see what he does. I want to see what he does, man. He could really, put his foot down and say, "Look, all right, I just knocked this guy off, man. You guys were really on top of this guy. I just knocked him off. What are you giving me?" I think it's got to be a title shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This could easily be a title shot contender. Banil's on a 7-fight winning streak, supposed to face Islam. Islam got the shot. It's easily could be right there. Now, as far as Banil goes in the card market, boop, boop, boop. Just not popular enough, even if he gets the wins. He's not a loudmouth enough. He doesn't have the swag that these other guys have. Hey, there's a champion, and his name's Charles Oliveira. We know that. So you got to have that. Banil doesn't have that. He's calling out Elon Musk for a Tesla. You get a shot, and it's irrelevant. So, double thumbs down for my man over there in the card market. Now, let's get to the last fight of the main event. We got the women's flyweight. I'm excited for this one. I'm not going to lie. Way more excited than watching Banil. And I don't even like Caitlyn Chukagian. We got Caitlyn Chukagian, ranked number 1, plus 155 dog here. 33 years old, 18-4, 4-fight winning streak. beating Hebos in a split decision, Jen Maya and Viviana Rujo, who just got that loss. I'm loving how Alexa Grasso looks. Matter of fact, she's on fire herself. Now, we got Mannion Furet, ranked number 6, minus 180, 32 years old, 9-1. Last beat Jen Maya and Maya Bueno Silva, who is a tough out. We're just going to put it that way. That girl is one tough out. And her only loss was her first pro appearance in Cage Warriors. Tom, I mean, this is the biggest step up in competition for Mannion Furet besides Valentina. Caitlyn has been rounding number 1. She's definitely beatable. And the thing here is she's beatable by these stronger, bigger women. As we see this fight, we saw who her losses are. Valentina, Andrade with that body shot gets her. Jessica I back in the day. It's all these big, strong women. And I think Mannion fits that case perfectly. Bigger, stronger, similar styles though. They like to hit from the outside. They like to pick apart their opponents. They both like to scream when they hit. For me, the big difference is just that power. Mannion looks so strong, so big when she's out there. She looks like she's really hurting the girls when she hits them, whereas Caitlyn, not saying she can't hurt a girl, but it's a lot of volume. It takes a lot for her to really hurt any of these girls. She's not getting any finishes with like 300 direct hits on them. It's like a video game. If you're taking 300 direct hits, you're level 1 boss. And Caitlyn's not finishing any of them. So my pick, Mannion. I don't know if she finishes it just because I think Caitlyn likes to stay so long. It's going to be difficult. But I'm taking Mannion for the win. I'm taking the decision. Tom, where do you see this one going?
All right, Caitlyn 33, Mannion 32. You know, I think Mannion's likely the better striker, like you're saying, and likely the harder striker, meaning the power striker in this situation. But I think Chuk may be the better grappler. I think that's where her advantage may lie. You know, I'm going to go with Chuk here, man. You know, she's got a 3-inch reach advantage. I don't know how much that's going to help her because I really think she will try to keep the distance, but I see it end up being grappling. If she can keep her close, avoid getting TKO'd, really, or KO'd by Mannion, I think she could take it by decision.
Wow.
I'm going with Chuk by decision.
Chuk by decision. I'm not seeing that one. But Chuk has surprised me before. She's not ranked number 1 for no reason. She does possess a lot of skills. But now, as far as the card market goes, Chuk is worthless. Her cards are worth... You can't give them away most of the time. I'm just being honest here. You cannot give Chuk cards away. Trust me, I get Chuk autos and this and that. I open a lot of stuff. Hard sell on Chuk. She's not beating Valentina. It's just not happening. She didn't even look human against Valentina. It looked like Valentina was the boss in the video game. She just stuffed her. It wasn't even close. Now, as far as Mannion goes, though, Mannion seems to be the best-looking girl in the division besides Valentina. I got a speculation buy rating on Mannion right now. She's just printed. Her prices are pretty high. She's holding steady and climbing. And if she gets this win, there's nowhere else for her to go but Valentina. I think it's too soon for that. I'd like to see...
I think she could. I also think she could fight Talia Santos.
Maybe. But Talia just came off that. You're fine. But I think Mannion's the real deal. Ranked number 6. I think she's going to leapfrog. This is number 1 contenders, Caitlyn. You beat her. You're leapfrogging right there. Maybe they throw you somebody else in there. I'd like to see her fight someone else before she fights Valentina just to get a little more experience in the cage. Maybe a 5-rounder for her. You know, like you said, a Vegas, ESPN, Apex main event. Just a little bit more so she can go 5 rounds, test herself against somebody yet.
And it could work the other way, too, to where you can make Santos kind of earn a shot back, have those two fight. That's a big if, though. I think the winner of this, though, you could make an argument to fight Santos either way, whoever wins.
Right. Absolutely. I think if Caitlyn wins, she does fight Santos. They don't want her versus Valentina again. They want new blood versus Valentina. Valentina is just... The only one who's given her a problem was Santos. Santos gave Valentina a real problem. Caitlyn and all these other girls, they don't even look like they're in there. They're just getting tossed around. It's not even funny. Santos did give her a real fight. That was extremely close. But you got to beat the champ to be the champ.
That's right.
And it didn't happen. Let's just put it that way. All right, guys. Moby's live. I know Moby's going hard for Gamrot. Guy's a hardcore collector on Gamrot, so he's rooting for him. Let's hope Boring Banil doesn't get the upset, buddy, because it's possible.
And his dude Mokaev is Muhammad over there.
We'll get to Muhammad later. We'll get to Muhammad later. I just feel bad for him when Charles beats Islam, because that's coming. And all right, guys. Appreciate you joining us. We'll catch you next time.